Hi, my name is Dominique, and I just wanted to introduce myself and explain what I'm doing and why. So, I have loved reading my whole life, as long as I can remember. And I don't know, it's not even something I know how to explain. It's just, I always loved learning new things or like new ideas, new ways that people live, and it just taught me a lot. And what led me to deciding to do this is I was working at a daycare for a week time and I connected the most with the kids through reading, and I would get a whole group of them listening to me and just being interested in what I'm reading, and it just made me like want to do that still, but not in the setting that I was in. And so I felt like making YouTube videos that I'm making would be a good way to do that, because then kids can listen to someone reading to them while also reading along if they want to, and just looking at the pictures and just kind of being interactive. And I thought that like everyone is on the internet a lot more these days, so why not make it a more welcoming place for younger kids and give them something else to look at? So I really hope you enjoy the first book that I read. I picked this one in time for, sorry, I did that one I messed up, but I picked this one in time for Valentine's Day, and it's called Franklin's Valentines. Let me show you, even though you'll see it in a second, but this is it. I got this at my local thrift store for 25 cents. So I really want to start a thing once more people are tagging along where I can send them the free book if the kid really loves it. So yeah, and overall what I am trying to say is the point of this channel and these videos in general are going to be to give kids a space to just read and listen to someone reading to them. And I also wanted to pick books that teach a good message, so we can talk about it afterwards and kind of just explain what happened in the story. Okay, so thank you again for listening and tagging along on this adventure that will be reading all these fun books. I will show you the whole pile I have picked out. So this is my first stack. I'm so excited to do this. This is going to be one of my favorites. It's kind of long, actually. I just realized it's like a workbook, which that could be fun, but I did not pay attention to that. So yeah. Some of these my sister picked out that she thought people would like. But thanks for, again.
Yay!
This book is called Franklin's Valentines. Written by Paulette Bourgeois, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, and Sharon Jennings, and illustrated by Brenda Clark. Franklin could count to 10 and back again. He knew the days of the week, the months of the year, and the holidays in every season. Today was Valentine's Day, and Franklin was counting the valentines he'd made for his friends. He wanted to be sure he hadn't forgotten anyone. "Hurry up, Franklin," said his mother. "You'll miss the school bus." Franklin rushed to find his hat and mittens and boots. He tossed his valentines into his bag. "I'm going," called Franklin, and he hurried out the door. At school, Mr. Owl gave the class a Valentine spelling bee and Valentine arithmetic problems. But everyone was too excited about the Valentine's Day party to think about work. Franklin whispered to Bear, "I can't believe we have to wait until after lunch to give out our cards." "I can't believe we have to wait until after lunch for the goodies," Bear whispered back. At last, it was time for the party. "You may get your Valentines out now," said Mr. Owl. Franklin grabbed his bag and reached inside. He pulled out his hat and he pulled out his mittens. He pulled out a ball and a scrunched up piece of homework. Then he held his bag upside down and shook it. "What's wrong?" asked Bear. "My Valentines! They're gone!" cried Franklin. After Franklin looked everywhere, Mr. Owl let him phone home. Franklin waited and waited while his mother searched. "I'm so sorry, Franklin," she finally said. "I found your Valentines outside in a puddle of slush. The cards are ruined." Franklin blinked away his tears. He gave the phone to Mr. Owl and ran out of the room. Mr. Owl found Franklin in the cloakroom. "There you are, Franklin," he said. "Your friends are waiting. We can't start the party without you." "I don't belong at the party," replied Franklin. "I don't have any Valentines to give." "I know," said Barry. "Please stop." "I know," said Mr. Owl. "Your mother told me what happened, and I told the class." Franklin moaned. "I guess no one's going to give me a Valentine now." Said Mr. Owl. "If Bear lost his Valentines, would you decide not to give him a card?" "I'd never do that," exclaimed Franklin. "Bear is my friend." "Maybe Bear feels the same way about you," replied Mr. Owl. Franklin thought about that. "Maybe," he said. He cheered up a little bit. Franklin and Mr. Owl went back to the classroom. Franklin watched as his friends delivered their cards. As the pile of Valentines in front of him grew bigger and bigger, Franklin felt sadder and sadder. There were so many, and he had none to give in return. He sighed as he opened Bear's card. "What's wrong, Franklin?" asked Bear. "Don't you like my card?" "I do, but I feel bad because I don't have one for you," said Franklin. "Oh, that's all right," said Bear. "I don't need a Valentine to know you're my friend." Franklin smiled. Everyone gathered around as Franklin opened his other cards. "Mine's a turtle cutout," said Snail. "Mine's a turtle poem," said Goose. "And I made up a turtle riddle," said Fox. "These are great," exclaimed Franklin. "I just wish I had my Valentines for all of you." "I just wish we could start eating all these goodies," replied Bear. Everyone laughed. That night, Franklin told his parents about the party. "It sounds as if you have some really good friends," said Franklin's father. "I sure do," said Franklin. "Next year, I'm going to make them extra special Valentines." "Well, you got a whole year to get ready," replied his mother. "I don't know if I can wait a whole year," said Franklin. The next morning, Franklin's mother found him at the table, writing and drawing and cutting and folding. "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm sorry. What are you making?" she asked. "It's a surprise," Franklin responded. His mother smiled. "Well, hurry up, you'll miss the bus." But Franklin didn't hurry. He wrapped his artwork carefully and placed the package in his bag. He made sure that all the buckles were done up tight. Then he hugged the bag to his chest and went out the door. As soon as Franklin got to school, he opened his package and gave everyone a card. "What are you doing, Franklin?" asked Beaver. Valentine's Day was yesterday. Oh, these cards aren't for Valentine's Day, replied Franklin. They're for Friendship Day, and Friendship Day can be any day you want it to be. The end. Okay, hello again. I hope you enjoyed the story, and now I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that I liked in the story and some of the things that I learned from it. So, the first thing that I really liked in the story was that when he found out about his Valentines, he let himself be upset. And also, his teacher, Mr. Owl, gave him the space to be upset for a second, but also came and comforted him after a while and just helped make him feel better. But just remember, it's always okay and better to just express how you're feeling and to let yourself be sad if something made you sad. Even when people try to tell you, like, don't be upset, it's okay, you still can be upset because you can't help how you feel. That just upset you. So just remember that. It's always okay to feel your emotions. But another thing I really liked when they were in the cloakroom is when Mr. Owl said the part about how he asked Franklin if he wouldn't give his Valentine to someone else who had lost theirs, and he said of course he would still give them. And just remember that, like, just because you don't have something to give to someone or to offer to someone doesn't mean that people still don't care about you and they don't want to show you that they care about you. And that receiving something or getting something from somebody isn't always the most important thing. It can also be important to show others that you care about them. Like, Franklin was upset more about his Valentines because he couldn't show his friends that he appreciated them, rather than the fact that he wasn't gonna get any. That upset him for a second there, because of course everyone loves to receive the gifts that comes from a holiday, but he still felt upset because he couldn't give anything back. So that's really nice. And then I loved the most when he took extra special care and extra special time and made his friends new Valentines and just wrapped them super safely, and he was just so happy to give them to him, and that just made me really happy. And the last page, like he said, it's for Friendship Day, and Friendship Day can be any day you'd like. And so just remember, if you ever want to show somebody or a friend, your parents, your grandparents, your guardian, your uncle, your aunt, anyone in your life, your sister, your brother, your sibling, anybody that you feel love towards, or that you want to show that you appreciate them or that you love them, you can always make them something. You can write them a note. You can tell them with your words. And you could also show them by helping them do something that they have to do every day, or helping them with anything. So I hope that you really enjoyed this story as much as me, and I hope that it taught you a little something, and I also hope that it inspires you to go out and show somebody that you appreciate them. And I can't wait to read another story with you, and I'll see you then. Bye!